Good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's show of What's the Deal with Adam and Neil. I'm Adam.
I'm Neil.
We got a great show for you this morning. All sorts of stuff to cover. We're going to start off. It's Worship Wednesday.
Worship Wednesday.
I almost said Wacky Wednesday.
I mean, we could call it that too.
I like Worship Wednesday more. And so we have that. We have several other things to talk about. It's also April 1st, which means April Fool's Day.
April Fools.
Hey, Neil, your shoe's untied. Gotcha. Yeah. So what do we have with April Fools?
Well, I was just like reading through some of the best pranks that are available out there, because a lot of fun around April Fool's Day is doing like fun things with your family, funny things.
Sure.
So I just want to read through some of these pranks because there were some really good ones. First, I want to start with some more tech savvy at home pranks that you could do.
Okay.
A lot of people on their phones right now. So one of the things that you can do, there's actually a GIF. Is that how you pronounce it? GIF?
I call them Jiffies.
Jiffy. There's a Jiffy. It's the typing bubbles. On iPhones when you type, it shows bubbles.
Yeah.
You can send the GIF of the three dots. So people think you're typing, and it's like, when are they gonna send it? This would be really good for high schoolers because they're always really anxious about when that text is coming through.
Yeah.
So that's a good one.
That's the one that Christy Fry should send to people, because when she sends texts, they usually are very long, and so it would legitimately look like she's typing for an hour.
That would be funny.
I'm like, just send it already.
Just go.
Yeah, what else is?
Okay, this one I've actually done continuously for 6 or 7 years now.
Nice.
And that is to subscribe a pal to a hilarious mailing list.
Oh, that's wrong.
Yeah, the way I've done it, I have one specific friend, and I'm not going to mention his name in case he's watching, but I sign him up for anything possible. Like if I'm at a trade show or anything and there's something you can get signed up for, I always put this guy's email address on there and sign him up. It's so funny. He's never even said anything about it, but in my head I'm laughing every time I write his email down.
When I was in high school, I did that with my youth pastor.
Yeah.
And so I wrote his name on all these free things, which basically meant he got spammed for the next 20 years of his life.
Oh my gosh. He's
I
probably
didn't even
still
use
getting
his
it.
real name. I made it silly so that way he would know it was for me.
That's awesome. Okay, this is the last one on the tech savvy, and then I've got a couple more to talk about.
Okay.
This one is, there's a feature on phones where you can replace, how there's the autocorrect? So you can put in there what you want your autocorrect to correct it to.
Oh, wow.
So if you type in HTE when you're trying to type the or the, however you say that, then automatically it's going to correct it to THE. But you can get it to change to anything. So you can get, when you type in the letters HTE, you can get it to change to
that's fun.
Panda bear or I need some more Coca-Cola. You can.
Oh, I wish I knew that before my wife watched this. I could do that to her phone.
That would be so funny. I feel like this is a really good one for dads to do to their teenage sons.
Yeah.
So
that's true.
Or husbands to their wives.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's hop into a couple others before we dive into some serious stuff. This one we have some pictures of. Okay, so this one's kind of funny. It only works in those office settings where they have the old school keyboards still.
What's an old school keyboard?
The ones
that plugs in?
Yeah. They're becoming more.
It's like a typewriter. Okay.
Yeah, they're becoming less of a mainstream thing now.
Okay.
So, but a lot of offices still use them. So
what's this look like?
What you do is you plant grass in the keyboard. So you can take.
Do we have a picture of this?
Yeah, look at this. So you can take the top part of the keyboard off.
Sure. Okay.
And you put something in there, some cotton or something, and you literally plant grass seeds or chia seeds or something like that.
Like a month before?
Yeah, in there. And then watch this. Watch what happens. that happened. That would be so funny.
That's wrong.
You come in one day and you just start seeing those little green things pop up.
Do that to somebody who's going on vacation for like 2 weeks or something.
That's
then it
yeah,
would grow up.
that's the best.
That's funny.
So I thought that was so funny. Okay, this other one. The Mentos. All right. So obviously you know the whole thing. Mentos in I think it's Diet Coke, right? Or
something.
Maybe any Coke.
Maybe just regular Coke.
Yeah. So when you put Mentos in, it like explodes. So there's one where you can tie a Mento, like you can fasten it to the inside of the cap, so that when they put the cap on, it just like makes it
drops.
Yeah. So that's what they can do. The other Mento thing, and I thought this was even funnier, is you freeze ice cubes with Mentos inside of them. So then at like a family get together, you just have a bowl of ice and people are scooping the ice into their drinks, and then someone eventually it just like explodes when the ice cube melts.
That's funny.
That'd be really funny.
That's a great idea.
And then last one, I've also done this one. This one, if you take ice in a cup and you put it upside down on a flat surface, the ice is going to melt, but it won't get outside of the cup. So then the only possible way, and we have a picture of that one too, for somebody to lift, to move the cup is to lift it, and the water's going to go everywhere.
Oh,
so you do this like, at nighttime before you go to sleep. In the morning, it's going to be like that. And then if if Dad goes to work, then he's not going to be around to clean it up. So I thought that was really funny. We've done this. I used to work at Starbucks, and we did that so we would work the night shift, and we would put those cups, like the real tall ones, we would put those upside down with ice in them, so the morning crew would come in at like 3 a.m. and have to clean it up. It was not funny for them, but yeah.
Man, you're a prankster.
Anyway, hey,
I didn't know you did that
April
stuff.
Fools, you guys do some good April Fools pranks and let us know below what you have done or what you're going to do later on.
I like that. All right. Well, then, since you're such a prankster, I got 3 worst case scenario.
All right. I think I can.
I'm gonna let you select.
Okay.
We have how to eat a rat or a mouse.
Okay.
We have how to cross a river that's too deep to walk across. Like think really deep and fast moving. And then thirdly, how to avoid a barracuda bite.
Wow. I'm going to go with one that I think is going to be a little bit more challenging, and that's the barracuda bite.
Okay.
Because I feel like our viewers want to know.
Yeah. It's a survival scenario.
Sure.
Right there.
Yeah, you never know when a barracuda is going to try to bite you.
Yeah, so there's 3 options. Which one helps you avoid it?
Okay.
First of all, thoroughly wash with soap after eating any meat or fish before entering the water. Number 2, keep limbs inside the boat, as shadows may attract the barracuda. And lastly, refrain from wearing metallic objects such as jewelry and metal barrettes.
All right. So I'm putting myself in a scenario of I'm already in the water. So
I think so.
I'm taking the boat out of the question.
Yeah, it's a little unfair.
If that's the answer, then
Because, how are you supposed to avoid barracuda? Don't get in the water.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's the easiest thing.
Sure, so you can take that one off.
So that one's wiped away. If that's the answer, we're calling it audible.
All right.
So I'm going to go with the shiny one.
Yeah, that's a little unfair.
Yeah.
You're a fisherman. Obviously,
Yeah,
shiny stuff attracts- You literally use shiny stuff to catch fish.
That's true. But if there are viewers out there that don't know that, now they know if they go to the ocean, don't wear shiny things.
Yep.
Because a barracuda might bite you.
Yep. That's a good point. Awesome. Well, that's good for us today.
Yeah.
Well, hey, it's Wednesday. So
Wednesday.
Worship Wednesday. There's a lot of different worship songs out there and worship preferences and genres and all sorts of stuff. And I think it'd be good for us to share a little bit about what worship songs mean a lot to us and what that looks like. So I was going to get started by sharing my playlist with everyone. I shared this on Facebook earlier today too. And so here's just a list of some of the songs that happened to be on there this morning. Spirit Lead Me by Influence Music. That one's meant a lot to me for
That's a
different
good
reasons.
song.
Lay It All Down. Every time I listen to that, I just give stuff away. You have Rescue Story. That one's pretty cool. And Zach Williams shares, if you look that up, he actually shares a little bit of his testimony on why that matters so much to him. And I think I've seen a song with him singing that in a jailhouse, which is pretty cool too.
That's cool.
I say jailhouse, like, I don't know, old school.
Jailhouse rock.
Jailhouse. Yeah, I don't know. That fourth one there, Remember. Have you heard that before?
I don't think, I'm not good with song titles.
Okay.
But I can't.
I'm the opposite. I'm better with titles, and I don't like remember if I've heard them and stuff.
Yeah.
But that one's really good. It talks about remembering who God is, and I think
Okay.
I found that to be just pretty powerful.
Yeah.
The next one is Jesus, We Love You. I find that
good
to
one.
be very meaningful right now. The next one is God Is by Kanye.
New Kanye.
Yeah, I like that song a lot. I like he's one of my favorite worship leaders right now.
Yeah,
if
sure.
You can call him that. And then you have God a Revival.
Oh, classic. Yeah.
So Bethel has been a part of that, but it was co-written with Phil Wickham. I mentioned this last week actually. And then the last two there, How to Be Yours by Chris. I think you pronounce it Renzema, but maybe it's Renzema. I don't know.
Renzema.
Yeah, Renzema. And then the last one is The Blessing.
Yeah.
That you've mentioned before. So that second to last one there by Chris Renzema.
Yeah.
That one, have you heard that?
I don't.
It's called
I'm
How to
not
Be Yours. Yeah, you're not sure?
I'm not sure.
So
I might have.
I was going to read to you some of the lyrics from
Okay.
it and explain why it means so much, because
Yeah.
I find it to be one of the songs that's pretty cool in how it's structured. So it starts off with his declaration to God, and then the second half is God's response to him.
Okay.
And so it's all put to words. And I find it to, that kind of angle in a song is cool, because usually the songs are just declarations to the Lord,
Right.
which makes sense. But in this case, it kind of brings you in using scripture to have the heart of God also responding to a cry. And so some of the words in this song that really catch my attention, he cries out to God. He said, I still act like an orphan, and my heart, it breaks to confess that even while you hold me, as I cry on the floor, I still don't know how to be yours. And I think that's a great perspective, because we have been adopted into God's family if you're a follower of Christ. And yet we so often don't know how to experience or receive God's love. We consistently act like an orphan. And I find that to be true for myself.
Sure.
And I've been a follower of Christ now almost 30 years. And yet I'm still realizing I need to learn how to be loved by God.
Yeah.
That's really profound to me. And then one of the parts of God's response back, he says, basically, whether you love me or you hate me, I'm not going anywhere. You can leave me or you can take me, but you still bear my signature. And then he says, I'm not walking out on you. And I love that. I
That's
find,
so good.
as I hear it, particularly when it's matched with the melody and other parts of the song too, it's really powerful. But just the words in and of themselves, and how, especially that phrase, that we still bear God's signature. You know, I love that mentality and that truth for us. Yeah. And so personally, that song has meant a lot to me. I was worshiping with that this morning. And I just listened to that a few times over and over. But.
Yeah, that's huge. I feel like that's a big a big thing that just holds us back from being all in with God, whether it's holding us back from going to church, or like getting back into church, or getting around Christian community. It's a lot of times in our head of, I've done these things and like there's no way God can forgive me for that, or like I'm too ashamed because of the things that I've done or the people I've been associated with. But God's just like standing there with open arms, and the church is ready to welcome you in. It's just a matter of letting go and saying, God's in control. He's gonna welcome me back. So that's awesome. That's awesome that he was able to put lyric to that.
Yeah, I know. I like it when you have those moments, because you realize that the Lord uses these worship artists and anyone else, but he uses them in very powerful ways. Music, it resonates with us, and a lot of people are probably listening to worship music in ways they never have.
Yeah.
Because there's a difference when you listen to it and things are going well versus listening to it in the middle of crises or a pain, uncertainty. That really resonates in ways that are new. And to your last point there, I would add that Wait, what were you saying? You're talking about people we don't understand. Oh, yeah, shame. So I thought of this, like with if God can forgive Adam and Eve, whose sin brought sin into the world, like was the cosmic sin requiring the Son of God to come on earth? If God can forgive them, He can forgive us.
Yeah.
And that's just one angle to forgiveness.
Yeah.
I would even root it even more in just the atonement of Christ on the cross.
Sure.
But if you're trying to use a comparison to help you walk through what's this look like, well, let's just look at Adam and Eve.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So anyway, that's on my list today. How about for you?
Yeah.
What are some worship songs that have stood out to you?
Yeah. So a big thing that stood out to me, it's been kind of going around the last couple of days. There's this hospital, and I wanted to read a little snapshot of this article of what was going on. Some of you have seen it already, but there was this hospital in Georgia where all the medical staff got together. They were on the roof just worshiping the Lord. And it says that residents in Cartersville, Georgia are making headlines this week after hundreds of neighbors gathered together in worship and prayer over medical workers and patients at Cartersville Medical Center. And after seeing a similar gathering in neighboring Douglas County, Camden McGill took to Facebook and organized this same thing. He's the guy that organized it at Cartersville Medical Center. He called it Circling the Hospital in Prayer. They had a Christian radio station there. It was just a cool thing. If you saw, there's kind of two different videos that went around. One is a bunch of people in the community in their cars in the parking lot with their headlights, the flashers going and everyone worshiping. And the other is the medical workers standing on the roof also worshiping. And it was at the same hospital, just at different parts of the day. And so it's just cool to see the impact that can be made by a group of people that say, let's just worship together,
Yeah.
Like they're making national headlines for gathering in a parking lot at a hospital and worshiping. So it's cool to see. And kind of going back to what we were just talking about, I remember a specific time in my life when my parents were separating, found out that night, and I turned on a song. It was called "Beautiful Things" by
Gungor?
Gungor, yeah.
I remember that song.
So he talked about how God makes beautiful things out of dust, and all I could think about in that moment was just how everything just felt like dust right there. It was just like down to the bare minimum, like everything had been totally fine, and at that moment it just felt like there was no life around me. And to hear that God could make beautiful things out of that was something that carried me through that season. And so it's really cool to see how lyric and melody, how just worship music itself through the Holy Spirit can carry you through different seasons of brokenness, or can give you just a hope and a renewed strength in certain times. And so I have no doubt that there are many worship songs out there that are just getting people's hearts prepped to be carried through this season of isolation.
Sure. Yeah, I believe it. In times like this, you turn to the Word and you turn to worship. Yeah. And ultimately, you're turning to God. Yeah. And He meets us there. Yeah. That's good. So whether you are feeling shame, maybe you can look at Chris Renzima's song. Yeah. However you say that. And then maybe if you're feeling really broken or feeling like things are like dust right now for you, and check out Gungor's song, Beautiful Things. Yeah. That's an oldie, probably 10, 15 years now. Yeah. More, actually.
Yeah. I think it was like 2019, 11, probably 11 when I was listening to it, but it was older than that, I think. Yeah. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, good. Well, so we have a few different things we want to talk through. I guess it feels a little more like serious in nature, despite being April Fool's Day.
April Fool's.
Yeah, I know. Which is actually one of my best friend's birthdays.
Oh, what?
His birthday's today. So in college, we were roommates for a couple years, and he told me that his birthday's April 1st, like a Fool's Day.
Yeah.
I assumed he's kidding. That's classic, right?
Yeah.
When's your birthday? It's today, or whatever it might be. Or when is it? April 1st. Okay. And so the very first year, we didn't celebrate his birthday or anything at the dorm or in the room because I thought he was kidding.
Yeah.
And it was the next year, we're seniors, and I was like, oh, it actually is April 1st.
What
Dude,
if...
I thought you were kidding last year. I'm so sorry. I was like, okay, well, whenever it really is your birthday, let me know.
What if his parents have been playing the best April Fool's prank on him his entire life?
Good.
He's really born in like December.
Yeah.
And when he's like 50, they're going to finally reveal to him.
Yeah. Yeah, he's never done that correctly. Then one day he looks at his birth certificate.
Right. That's so funny.
Oh, that's
Wow.
good. There you go. Well, you're a prankster. You could hold on to that one day.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, anyway, so it's April 1st. Today we started a new devotional as a church family.
Yeah.
Did you get that?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I got mine by text.
Oh, nice.
I liked that.
Yep. Yeah, I'm excited. I haven't dove into it yet.
Okay.
Jumped. I haven't jumped in.
Divin.
Yeah. Dived.
Dovin.
I have not looked at it yet.
Maybe it's doved.
Doved.
Yeah. Yeah. Another verb. So you haven't seen it yet? Yeah.
No, but I'm after this I'm gonna go home and sit down and look at it. But then tonight we're having our group on. We're gonna meet virtually, so we're gonna talk through that a little bit and.
Good. Yeah, it'll be a good discussion topic. Yeah. Half of Matthew 1 is the genealogy of Christ, as you learned Monday.
Yeah.
With Matt.
Yeah. Things you don't remember when.
Yeah. And so I know it's easy to skip over that part.
Yeah.
And I like the devotional. It addresses well why that's important. It's reminding us how God is faithful with all those different families and people.
Yeah.
How His plans are seen since the beginning of time. And that's so important for us.
Actually, to tie that into Worship Wednesday, my wife just sent me a text before this, and she said...
She's not texting you while we're talking?
No, actually, oh no, I got a kiss emoji.
Lynn didn't text me while we're talking yet either.
8 minutes before we started. She said, Matthew 1 is today's reading, and the first half of the chapter is the genealogy of Jesus, and all I could think about the whole time was, and this is the lyrics in the song The Blessing that you just shared, it says, may His favor go before you and 1,000 generations, and your family, and your children, and their children, and their children. It's part of the song. So it's cool to if you're reading that to see God's blessing on generation after generation after generation. So it's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, so that occurs there in the first half, and the second part of Matthew 1 is the birth of Christ.
Yeah.
And I was reading that and just thinking, oh, that's it feels a little weird to read about the birth of Christ when we celebrated Christmas a couple months ago, and in a week and a half it's Easter Sunday. Sometimes it feels a little disjointed if you were to be, but there's never a wrong time to read the Bible or Matthew 1. You could read that any day.
That's true.
And so reading that was actually, especially in light of Easter coming up, it was really interesting just to read that and to be reminded of the mission of Christ. Matthew 1:21 says that Jesus, he's going to be born and He will save His people from their sin. And that was what we remember on both Good Friday and then the whole weekend and Resurrection Sunday. And so it's a great time for us as a church family to walk through Matthew 1, or the book of Matthew.
Sure.
Today's Matthew 1. So check that out if you have a chance. It doesn't take long, but even if it took an hour, I would still recommend you to do it, because the reality is it's important for you and for your soul and for your walk with Christ.
Definitely. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and it's available for free. A lot of devotions you have to pay for, but
it's true. Not
it's
this
free.
one. You can get it by texting. You can get it on social media. You can get it through your email. And you can even just go right to our website and find it. So
visit legacy.org. There you go.
Boom. I like that graphic. Jason, you should put that back up. Look at that. That's our new homepage, because we're virtual right now.
That's awesome.
And that's me in a little vintage retro TV.
Yeah. Got a little mid-century modern vibe going on.
I know. They should make TVs like that today. They probably do. They make little record players that function
Yeah,
with great technology, but they look old.
that's true.
I bet they make old-looking TVs.
Yeah, they just make like the cabinet for your flat screen.
Yeah.
That's the crazy thing.
Weird pressed wood.
Yeah, you can't like just throw those TVs away anymore.
Oh yeah.
Like you have
That's
to pay to throw your, like it's more expensive to throw one of those big TVs away than it is to buy one at like a thrift store.
Yeah. I wonder how many people here in Greene County just dig a big old hole in the ground and bury it.
No, first you shoot it.
Oh yes, that's right.
Yeah.
It should explode.
First you shoot it, then you bury it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing about shooting, because there's glass components, shooting glass is really messy. It's to me that's not worth the pickup, but
It's so fun though.
just me.
You watch it like explode. The other day we were shooting bottles at my house with our 22.
nice.
Yeah, actually, so we went to Walmart pickup like the week that they got rid of it, and they accidentally gave us diet tonic water. Which, first of all, what is diet tonic water?
Water.
Yeah, like tonic water is just like carbonated water. So then to make a diet, how is that even possible?
I don't know.
Anyway, we weren't gonna drink it, so we shook them up and shot them,
Oh, that's
and
fun.
they went whoosh. It was
Yeah.
awesome.
Nice. How many times did it take you to shoot it before you hit it?
One.
Oh, okay. A marksman we have here, huh?
Actually, I
You
had.
didn't set it like a half mile away.
Well, I did. So I have a handful of 22s. Some of them have open sights, and some of them have scopes. So,
Which one did you use?
well, my favorite is to use the open sights because it's a little more of a challenge. So
It's very traditional.
yeah,
I feel like you're in the Revolutionary War a little bit.
right. So the first one
Because
was
they
shot.
used 22s.
Exactly. That's all they used. Yeah.
That's why we won the war.
Matt O'Driscoll is commenting below right now,
Yeah, he
like,
is.
you guys are silly.
We should have him on the show, and he can show us what they did use in the Revolutionary War.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can shoot a blank.
Yeah. Yeah.
So anyway, the first one we shot with a scope just to make sure we shot it.
Yeah.
And then we took the open sights and took probably 4 or 5 shots.
Fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, I guess that's what we're doing these days, since we're all stuck at home.
Yeah. Hopefully you stocked up on ammo before this whole thing happened. I guess you can still get it at Walmart.
Yeah. Well, anyway, that's kind of all I have to share today.
Nice. Same.
Cool. Well, hey, thanks for joining us this morning. And if you have any needs from the church, please reach out.
Yeah.
We will see you again tomorrow. Tomorrow is Thursday already.
Thursday.
Whoa. Theology Thursday.
Theology Thursday.
We have several topics we can address, though there's one that's lingering in my mind, and I don't know if we will talk about it. But it's either going the route of why pray through all this tragedy if God already knows what He's doing, right?
Sure.
Like that kind of question, which I think leads to other questions, or even how is God, if He is good, how come He's allowing this to happen?
Yeah.
So those
So
are two questions
classic
we may
question,
consider for the show tomorrow. And I hope you'll join us. With that, have
Please
a great
do.
Wednesday.
Yep.
See you all tomorrow.
Go worship.